So hi guys, we're back again. Thank you guys for joining part 2 of this conversation with Nelly.
Yes.
Yeah, so Nelly, we were talking about your leadership experience that came unexpectedly.
Yes.
But you learned that you learned a lot from that period.
Yes.
So now take us to the next stage.
Okay. So now we are in 2020. I'm jobless again because now we have already closed the school.
Yeah, so you closed it for 1 year.
No, we didn't really get laid off or anything, but we are out of work.
Oh, because guys are not...
we don't have students. Students are not paying school fees. You're not getting paid as well.
Yeah.
So we kind of closed the school indefinitely. And during that time, so now I want to highlight the importance of LinkedIn. So because I was still active in LinkedIn and positioning myself as, yes, a branch manager, but also still in tech enthusiast and also still in the ERP world.
Okay.
So I connected with a gentleman there, and he was a director at Oracle, and he went on to start his own technology company, ERP company, focusing on SAP. Okay. So
SAP is a
SAP is a software, is a business application software that it optimizes business processes.
Yeah. It's actually an international.
Yeah, it's an international one based in Germany.
Okay,
yes.
Awesome.
So they do implement all over the world. And in East Africa especially, we had a focus in smaller packages of the software called Business One and Business by Design. So he made a post encouraging people to apply for a program called Young Professional Program by SAP.
That is on LinkedIn?
On LinkedIn. Okay. So I reached out to him. I asked him about the program. And
you DM direct
message?
Yes,
I messaged him on LinkedIn.
Now this time you're jobless?
Yes, now I'm jobless. I'm at home.
And then you direct message this
exactly. Yes. So yes. And during this time, I also used to do Facebook marketing for a wig company, human hair company. So when I'm jobless, I used to do this marketing on Facebook.
Awesome.
So when I was doing that, I saw his post on LinkedIn, and I reached out to him. I asked him about the program, and he told me more about the program. It's a free program offered by SAP globally in majority of the countries in the world, where this company comes and trains a section of applicants who are successful. And normally it's usually around 30 candidates, and they go forward and get into the SAP world as consultants, sales people, etc., whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So I expressed my interest in doing this course, and he encouraged me to apply, which I did. I applied, went through the interview process. It was a 4-stage interview.
Wow.
And the recruitment team was based in Dubai, so we used to have virtual calls.
Virtual calls, yeah.
Yes. And also it was during COVID, so a lot of things were happening virtually at the time. Yeah. So I went through all the stages of the interview, went through, and started the program. It was 4 months. Yeah. So the catch there was it was an unpaid program.
So you have
for
to be
4
patient.
months, yes. For 4 months, you'll go through this course without any pay. Yeah, so it was more of a sacrifice for a better, for a better prospect in the future, which I did. And towards the end, now I started the program in October of
2020.
Yes, of 2020, and it ran through till February of 2021. And towards the end, now this connect that I have on LinkedIn, who now endorsed me. Because he's a partner of SAP, and it was very favorable for you if you're endorsed by a partner, because now immediately you finish the program, and also for the partner it's an investment, because when the partner is going to the market with a certified consultant, the more he has better chances of winning a request for proposal when he has a team of certified consultants. So he wanted to endorse a couple of people so that he have certified consultants in his team.
So it's a win-win for...
It's a win-win for everybody, yes. So immediately I finalized the course. He had an opening for a position. So I was trained in a software is SAP still, but now a different package called SAP S4HANA. And now his job was more SAP Business One and SAP Business by Design.
Okay.
So as much as I had already learned this S4HANA, I had to go now learn again.
The two. Business One
Design.
And
yeah, so I chose Business by, or rather the opportunity that was there at the time, or the project that he had to staff on was Business by Design.
Okay.
So I had to do another certification of Business by Design.
All these certifications are free?
Yes. So once you do SAP, they give you 6 chances for certification.
Okay.
So if you do the exams and you pass, so you can attempt up to 6 times.
Up to 6 times, okay.
But if you're able to pass the first time, you can do as much as 6 certifications.
Okay.
So I did pass the ones that were designated for the course. So at the end of the course, I still had remaining attempts. So I had to choose which other application. So within SAP, you will have finance, sales, procurement, HR.
Yeah.
We have also manufacturing, if I'm not wrong, or warehouse.
So these are modules within SAP?
These are modules within SAP.
Okay.
So I choose finance.
Okay, so you specialize in finance?
I specialize in finance.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went forward and did Business by Design Finance. And also, or rather, Business by Design, you have to do now an end-to-end certification covering all the modules. Yeah, so in Business by Design, I'm certified across all modules.
Oh, okay, yeah. Awesome.
Yes.
Wow. So first of all, anyone can start learning the SAP?
Yes, anybody can.
And it only takes 4 months?
No, this is particular course. This particular program.
The particular
took 4
program
months.
Yes,
because within the program, apart from now the modules, there were other things like sales skills that we got, communication.
So it was more general knowledge?
Yes. No, it was not general knowledge because they specified on specific modules.
Okay.
So in our cohorts, they do have this cohort every year if they have not stopped.
Okay.
And every year they have a particular focus based on what the needs of the market at that time are.
Okay.
So during our time, we did Activate Project Management, which is a project management module, and we also did one for integrating business processes with SAP S4HANA.
Okay.
Yes.
My curiosity is here. Like, so the guys that were training you from Dubai,
yeah,
what was their win?
So their win.
How are they benefiting?
Yes. So SAP. This is a program by SAP.
Oh, it's SAP. Okay.
Yes. So
okay.
SAP, its benefit is that
to get into market.
Yes, to get to market and with certified consultants.
Okay, nice.
And for clients, they are more into, or rather, you appeal more to clients when you have certified consultants. Yeah. Because it's a very specific software that have a specific way of implementation.
Yeah.
And a specific way of rollouts. So they need for you to be certified for you to work on that project.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So now you worked with what was the name of the company?
So the name of the company is called African Elite Group.
African Elite Group.
Yes.
The guy that you met.
Yes.
Online.
Yes.
On LinkedIn, to assist to help with to boost your career, like a godfather.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes.
Yeah, or a destiny blesser.
Yes.
Is that?
Yeah.
So now, from there you worked there for how long?
So I worked there for 1 year and 7 months up until September of 2022.
What was your job, daily work?
Yeah, so my work at that time, now it's SAP implementation as a functional consultant.
Okay.
So this role pretty much requires you to gather requirement from the client, the business requirements, and then implement that into SAP.
So you reach out to businesses, they give you their...
So the business, so now you already have a client.
Okay.
So before other roles, before you do the implementation, other role involves now sales,
now
demos,
the sales reach out?
Yeah.
And then once they reach out,
yes, you win you have a request for proposal, you win it, then now we start the implementation process, where now you take the business requirements and implement them according to SAP best practice, and after beyond that, now you have the testing phases. You go through different phases of the project, all the way up to go live.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes.
So now that is October of 2020.
So this was so I got the, we started this, or rather I started with this company in February of 2020, 2021.
2021, huh?
Right
Okay.
after the program.
Okay.
Yes. And then I proceeded till end of September of, no, rather August of 2022.
Okay.
Yes.
So about 1 year and
1
some
year
months.
and a few months, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then what? You can proceed?
Yes, so during that time, now while working for this company, somebody reached out to me also through LinkedIn.
Okay.
And they highlighted that they liked my profile. They think that I would be suited for the job that they were offering me. And if I'm interested, I should send my CV to them. Or rather, they forwarded me an email of a HR email that I can forward my CV to.
Yeah.
Then this job happens to be in Belgium.
Awesome.
Yes. So I was a bit skeptic at first, of course, because now it's online. There are a lot of scammers out there.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a bit, is this legit or somebody's trying to scam me? But yeah, I proceeded with the application. I sent my CV, but yeah, still a little bit skeptic.
Yeah.
So I had the first introductory interview with the HR. We had a good interview, proceeded to the next one. It was with the managers of the company. It was successful. Then I went to the directors of the company and eventually with the partners of the company.
Wow, awesome.
Yes.
What do you think stood out in your CV?
Yeah.
Or in your profile, LinkedIn profile, that
Yes.
made the recruiter identify you?
SAP certifications.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Okay. How many did you have?
So at that point, I had about 5.
5 of them.
Yes, I had about 5 of them.
Even the interview was about the certifications.
No, the interview was more on now because you're certified.
Yeah.
Now show us your SAP side, or rather your just a normal jobs side. It was a normal interview that like you would have with any other company. A conversational. What would you do if faced with this situational also?
Interviews,
yeah. So that went very well. Yeah, and so I got the job around February of 2021. 2022, sorry. 2022. And now because of this application and the back and forth with immigration, it took about 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I started the job in September of 2022.
Okay.
And had to relocate to Belgium.
Yeah.
Yes.
How was the transition?
From Kenya to Belgium?
From Kenya to Belgium?
So I would say that, professionally, it was very good, in fact, because I think I got a lot of, in my opinion, everybody have their own experience, but in my experience, I did receive support from the company and also from the colleagues that I met there.
Kenyans were there or?
No, just colleagues within the
everyone,
company, yes. Okay. Because it's a multinational company, so we have people from all over the world. Yeah, so we got a lot of support. In fact, at a certain point, it felt more home to be at work than going home. Because Belgium is a totally different country from Kenya. In terms of language, culture, everything was very, very different for me. So doing the job felt more in my element than outside of the job. Yes.
Okay. So, and they speak French, right?
Yes, they speak French and Dutch.
Dutch, yeah.
Yeah.
So at work?
Yeah, at work we do communicate in English because we work with multinationals. We have international clients as well, so we speak English mostly.
Okay.
Yes.
How different is the working culture?
So one of the biggest differences that I can highlight, and this is something that I had observed working from my Kenyan employer, the employer that I worked previously before I went to Belgium, is that it's more or less micromanaging. Yeah.
So in Kenya, there's more micromanagement.
Yes, I feel like in Kenya, managers
you're not trusted enough. So,
yes, they want to micromanage how you do your job. They want visibility.
No, that is your immediate manager always.
On your tool. Writing, or rather, the micromanagement that can happen here. But out there, it is more we want to see the results. We want to see.
So they trust you.
They trust
figure
you.
It out.
Figure it out.
If you need support, we are here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So that is the major difference I can say. Beyond that, work-life balance, I would say that there nobody is going to expect you to work on a weekend unless it's necessary.
Yeah. In Belgium, huh?
Yes, in Belgium.
They respect your time.
They respect your time.
Okay.
Very much.
And then so they are committed to what they say, the contract and everything.
The contract.
Yeah.
What they say that you're going to get is exactly what you're going to receive.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And what do you think you learned from your Kenyan work life that you think helped you in Belgium?
What helped me? The boldness, I would say, that I got from
Kenya,
from my previous managerial job, especially the managerial job, because now there in the managerial job, I was more of making these decisions and following them up, and that is exactly what you need to do there. As much as you need to consult with your other colleagues, managers high up, directors, etc., you still need to be your own person and make certain decisions. And I would say that leadership initiative has worked for me.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's, I don't know if you experienced this, but there's an article that I read about when Africans move to whether it's Europe or America.
Right. Yeah.
Especially when there are other cultures that are involved, especially the sort of, in quotes, superior culture. That is Europe or America.
Yeah.
There's always something called inferiority complex.
Yes.
Did you have that?
Yes,
challenge?
Indeed. Yes, I had.
How did you handle it?
So, first of all, you question yourself, because there's a huge agenda of the affirmative action. They want to see more black faces in the enterprises.
Or female.
Yeah. So you ask yourself whether you are in that position because of that, but ultimately you have to believe in yourself. Yeah. Because out of a billion, even let's say Kenyans only, out of 60 million of us, you got the job. So there's something about you that was more appealing for the job, not even for the people, for the job. Because if you gauge yourself with what people think about you, that's your first mistake. You need to value yourself according to the job that you're doing. Are you doing a good job? Is your job up to par? Is your output up to par? And if it's up to par, then you're in the right position. It has nothing to do with affirmative action. Whether you're a woman or a man, black, white, indifferent, whatever the case may be. The fact that you're in that position, for me, that's how I dealt with it. Working on myself, making sure that my work is of quality, that I am up to par as far as my delivery is concerned. And of course, there are those moments where you fall short because this is a totally new environment. I did go through a period of difficulty because I went in as an SAP consultant, an implementation consultant, a functional consultant in the system, doing taking the customer's requirements and then translating them into the system. That's what I was doing. That's what I actually thought I was going to be doing there. But of course, in tech, you transition because there are so many. There are many hats to wear. And I did, over the last 1 year, I have been in a role, a more project management kind of a role. And that transition was quite difficult for me because it was not something that I had done before. So willing to learn, willing to work on yourself, I would say that's what has really helped me to even survive in that environment and to eliminate the doubts that I may have. Yes.
Okay. So I think partly that touches also on imposter syndrome.
Yes.
But maybe is there something that you can mention about on imposter syndrome in relation to that?
So again, I will say even when it comes to imposter syndrome, the way to eliminate it is to make sure that your delivery is up to par.
Okay.
Because the imposter syndrome will come if you feel like you're not delivering.
Yeah.
Because this is a job at the end of the day.
Yes.
it's not, yes, the people element is important.
Yeah.
That you want your colleagues and your managers and your directors or whatever the case may be, the people who are above you, you want them to view you as a valuable asset to the company.
Yeah.
But the only way that they can equate what you're doing to whether you're an asset or a liability is the quality of the work that you're doing or the quality of work you're delivering.
Yeah.
So if you work on that, then you'll be able to eliminate the imposter syndrome.
Okay.
And I always say that own the space that you're in.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Accept that you're in that position.
Yeah.
When you have doubt on yourself, everybody else is going to be doubtful.
Yeah.
When you believe that I belong in this position, I am here because I am qualified.
You've earned it, you qualify
Yes,
for it. Yeah.
to be in that position,
Yeah.
then you will be able to eliminate that imposter syndrome.
Okay.
Once somebody asked me previously, when I was still in Kenya,
Yeah.
whether I have experience. This was a colleague working from on a different, it's still the same field,
Yeah.
but on a bigger company, like a multinational, where I was working for a local company.
Yeah.
And they asked me whether I've ever experienced imposter syndrome, and I said no. So when I went to Europe,
Yeah.
I did experience that.
Yeah.
And that is based on the challenges that you're having,
Yeah.
or rather the challenge that comes with the job. So when the challenge is big enough, of course you're going to feel,
Well, it scares you.
yeah, you're going to wonder, is this really for me? Am I doing the
Am I
right,
good
do I
enough?
belong here? Am I
Yeah.
good enough to, to do this job? So if you look it from this perspective with the imposter syndrome,
Yeah.
if you feel doubtful of yourself and you take a step back and try to evaluate why you're feeling doubtful, and try to work on those elements, only focusing on the job.
Yeah.
You can, the people element, you can always work on that.
Yeah.
If the people are, you're not gelling well with the people within the company, you can always work on that. You can work on your social skills. But as far as the job is concerned, which is the most important one, in my opinion, for a company, they want to know that you can deliver to their clients.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with that, try to identify what are you lacking, where are you slacking, why are you feeling doubtful about yourself, and work on those nitty-gritties that makes you feel doubtful. Then you're going to combat imposter syndrome.
And I'm sure with the size of the company that you're working in, and also the fact that it's a multinational. Right?
Yes.
I'm sure they have structures.
Yes.
That help most people cope.
They do, yes.
Like, for example, there are trainings.
Yes.
There are also constant
Yes.
references that you can get from the manager.
Yeah.
You can always reach out to them, and also
Yes,
they give you
yes.
feedback
Yeah.
on your performance and
Yes.
also what you need to improve on.
Yes.
So it's not just you finding yourself catching at straws
Exactly.
while you're drowning.
You're not totally alone
Yeah,
in
so
this
you can
journey.
always reach out, and also they can guide you.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I think those are the. Especially if you know your manager is
Yeah.
always saying thumbs up.
Yes,
I think it gives you that extra motivation.
it does.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Yes. So I know everyone is curious. Have you experienced racism?
So not directly, not to
Okay.
my face at least.
Okay.
So
No, this is both at work and social.
yeah, so at work, I don't
Yeah, because
think
guys
I
are
have.
professional.
Guys are very professional.
Okay.
In fact, they're very welcoming, in my opinion. Everybody have their own different experience.
Yeah.
But in my own personal experience, I felt really welcomed, very embraced.
Yeah.
People are willing to help me. Even outside of work,
Yeah.
when they realize, like, for example, I was struggling with finding housing.
Yeah.
Because now the company that I work for, when you get there, they give you housing for a period of time.
Yeah.
And then from there, you need to look for your own housing.
Yeah.
So when this time was lapsing, I was looking for housing, and it's so difficult to find housing in Belgium,
Yeah.
especially Brussels. It
Yeah.
was quite of a nightmare. It was one of my point of stress. It was a stressful point on my life
Yeah.
there. So you would see that people are giving you referrals, telling you go check out this area. They normally have better housing. Avoid this area. It's more expensive. They were quite supportive when it came to certain things to help you settle in.
Yeah.
When it came to the work, you've not worked for such a big multinational. They have their way of working.
Yeah.
They would show you. They show you the ropes. Guide you. try to assist you where you feel like you're falling short, and you have to be proactive. You have to ask.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to come and ask you, how are you doing? What are you struggling with?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to ask you that. So you have to be proactive. When you feel like you're facing challenges, you need to go and ask your colleagues, you know, so that they can be able to help you, and which they are willing to, from my own perspective again.
Yeah, from experience,
yeah. So at work I didn't receive any form of racism. I have not felt it. Well, outside, when I got there, I was quite, you know, shocked, because I landed in a really, I would say it's a small village.
Yeah.
It's a corporate village, because most companies were within that area. That's where they rented out our apartment, and it was more natives of the land, as opposed to multinationals who are based in Brussels, as opposed to outside of the city. And you know, like the stares were concerning, because you have these people staring at you. You're wondering, why are you staring at me? Have you not seen a black person before? So those were, it's subtle. I think it's curiosity, so I don't want to call that racism. So there is that element again, but I don't think I have really experienced tough racism. And if somebody have been racist to me, I come from a point of view where I am my master of my life. What you decide to do, it has nothing to do with me.
You have no control over what someone decides to think
and it has no effect on me. So I may be oblivious, not noticing when people are being racist to me. But as long as you're not talking to me, we don't have a problem.
Or threatening me.
Or threatening me. Yes.
Awesome. Okay. And what about culture shock?
Wow, culture shock.
Because I'm sure when you live in Kenya, you had an idea. There's a difference.
Yes, I knew there was a difference.
Did you feel some emotional change?
Yes, a lot.
Struggle to adjust?
A lot. So one of the advantages that I had is that I did meet a colleague who was also from Kenya.
Oh, awesome.
That we started almost at the same time.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So we were partners in crime, as we like to put it. So we were together having the same experiences. And now beyond that, and also because we didn't know each other, live in Kenya. We got to know each other there. So we were still strangers to each other. So there was that element of social life that was a bit, I would say that Belgians are not the most open people.
Yeah, it's conservative.
Especially to trying to make friends.
Socially, everyone is reserved, sort of?
Yes.
Or to themselves?
Yes. People are quite reserved there. So, you know, here we are very social people.
Yeah, we're open.
Yes, you can strike a conversation with a stranger on the streets. You don't even get to know their name, but you have had a meaningful conversation with them. That never happens in Belgium. So making friends was a bit difficult. And also I was there by myself, you know, going through all these processes. You know, they have these really elaborate systems which work for the people, but with that comes processes, and you have to do documentation and register. So there was a lot all at once that I had to do by myself. So that aspect was it was lonely. But with time I did meet a community of experts from all over Africa. I have Nigerian friends who are also expert in other multinationals in Brussels. People from South Africa. I have a friend from Zimbabwe. Others from Mauritius. So we have a community of African experts. So that was very helpful, especially as far as the social life is concerned, because now we would hang out, share experiences, etc. Another culture shock, I would say, was the food. The food for me was, I don't know. Even now, I cannot say that I am in love with the food. Of course, I've found some few items here and there, some few cuisines that I love and I indulge in. But in general, getting used to the food was something.
When you're in Kenya, what was your default meal?
Ugali.
Ugali and what?
Ugali, nyama, skuma.
Yeah. Now, when in Belgium, what's your default now?
even so, I have found ways to customize that, especially when I cook for myself.
Okay.
Because in Brussels, they have a huge Congolese community.
Okay.
So there's a street called Matonge.
Okay, I'm about to say, are you eating what I'm about to say? No. I'm thinking. Because you know, in Central Africa, they eat monkeys.
No.
They eat, they eat quite a lot of stuff.
Yes, they don't have those delicacies over there. So there they have, they do.
And no offense to.
Yeah. They do import some delicacies, but mostly it's fish. I see dried fish that they import from West Africa. So most of the food, it appears that it comes from West Africa.
So it's imported for
yes,
that? Okay.
Yeah. You know, Belgium is a French country.
Yes.
Mostly, okay, it's both.
It has direct relation with Congo.
Yeah, it does. And because of they were their history, colony, yes. And most West Africa, they speak French, so it's easier for them to settle there.
Yeah.
So they have a huge West African influence.
So you listen to a lot of Rumba by now. Are you listening to Rumba? Okay, Lomax, Prima.
Oh, yeah. Yes. So on that street, you can find even like maize flour. So you can make ugali.
White or yellow?
Well, both. In fact, both. In fact, there's a flour that comes from Kampala, which is very close to what we have here.
Okay.
Yes. So that is what we get. You can find some vegetables that you can improvise. It's not going to be skuma, but you can find something you can improvise. Meat, of course, is there.
Yeah.
So rice, just like the normal food we eat here. So there are things that you would get. If
Do they taste the same way?
So I would say that, the textures of food is different. Yeah, here I want to say it's more natural and more organic because we do, you know, you're picking sukuma wiki from your yard. Kwa shamba yako hapo nyuma. Yeah, so it's more, or rather, food here, I think it's of higher quality.
Because that's what you...
Or rather, that's what I know. That's what I'm used to. Yeah, so I struggled with the food, but I found some cuisines that I really like, even foreign cuisines like Asian cuisines.
So it's been 1 year since you left, huh?
It's been 1 year and 6 months.
1 year and 6 months. So did you struggle adjusting back when you came?
Not really.
So the food was
just very natural for me. Or rather, I was really looking forward to even coming back and having some authentic Kenyan experiences. Okay. So I would say that I didn't... Maybe just, you know, when I got back, what I can say is that there are things that we do as Kenyans that they don't do there. And now when you're living here, you don't really notice them because now that's what you know. And now when you come back, they are really magnified. Yeah,
like matatu issue.
Matatu, like just motorbikes. The chaos in the barabara, like those things, they are very magnified when you come back. But...
no drainage and it rained the other day. The road gets flooded.
Like just going for a government office and you're just frustrated. There it's very, you go there, they process whatever you need processed, they give you a date when it's supposed to be done, you have a specific amount of money you need to pay, you transfer that to a bank account and that's it. So it's very systematic over there as opposed to here where we need to really work on our systems. Yes.
I think if our system makes us, I think, better. Not in the sense that we cannot do better. But in the sense that you cannot go worse when you go to Europe, for example.
Yes, exactly.
You've already dealt with worse.
You've dealt with worse.
So now
you're just appreciating everything that is coming.
Compared to someone who's coming from Europe.
When they're coming, I'm sure
to Kenya, you'll really struggle.
They struggle with that. For sure they do. Yes.
All right. So any lessons for women in tech?
So women in tech, I feel like we need to occupy that space and own it. And I feel like we have done that, even here in Kenya and even abroad. It's not that they have fully occupied the space. They're also really on the agenda of enhancing, or rather encouraging women to take up tech spaces. And I feel like women need to own that space, be innovative, and not feel like they don't belong in that space because it's their space. They are qualified, and they need to stop seeing themselves as a segregated group, women in tech as a segregation, but as part of the technology. Not so longer women in tech, but we are people in tech, if that is a term.
People in tech, black people in tech,
and
people with disability.
We all need to occupy that space fully because every one of us have made strides to be in positions that we are in, whether through education
or even through quota. If you're hired through quota, that it's just you got into
it,
into the door. Yeah?
And now when you get there, you need to occupy the space fully.
True.
And take the opportunities that are there.
Yeah.
Take full advantage of it.
Awesome.
You need to curate your career according to how you want it to be.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunities in tech. You know, it's no longer very traditional that you need to be a programmer.
Yeah.
You can be a project manager, program manager, a salesperson within the tech space.
Yeah.
So don't let, especially people who would want to be in the space and they feel probably they are not in the space because they lack maybe the degree, the tech degree. Remember, this is, everybody can learn.
Yeah.
Just make the strides, learn what needs to be learned, decide which space you need to occupy. You are a salesperson, you can sell software.
Yeah.
That's a really profitable career path. So decide what you want to do and take the necessary steps, whether it's taking a course or going to summits and conferences that are curated to that path, and occupy that space to the best of your ability.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Now, connecting dots backwards.
Yeah.
What do you think are the 2 key things that made you get to where you are right now?
Willing to try, that is one. Willing to, you know, take an opportunity that is, that is afforded to you, or rather to me, and willing to learn.
Yeah.
Because even being in the position that I am in now, it's because I was willing to sacrifice 4 months to study a certification without knowing what would be the benefits later on. I had an idea, but nothing was guaranteed. But I still took the opportunity to learn it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So those two things are important.
Yes.
So then the next thing is so any future plans?
Future plans. So I want to get to the next level of this career that I have started. I'm still quite on the early stages of my career in tech. I have a lot to learn. So continuous learning and trying to get to the next step. The next step, either be it a managerial position and a more C-suite position later on in my career. So that's what I am working on.
What's your current position right now?
My current position, I'm a senior consultant.
Senior consultant.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any parting shots?
So I would like to encourage any person who is viewing this vlog, and whether you are in tech or not, you have an idea that you want to, you have a desire you need to fulfill. Don't sit there and ask yourself, can I be able to do it? You should try. The only thing you can do there is fail. That is the worst thing that can happen.
But you can also learn from it.
And when you fail, you take the lessons, and those lessons, they take you to the next level. They make you more aware, they enlighten you, and you're able to even have better dreams from your failures. So don't feel discouraged to try even beyond failure.
Awesome. So guys, you heard it from Nelly. Take the lessons and you never know.
Yes.
Thank you guys for watching this session and have a good one.
Bye.